Hey guys, I'm Aussie Villain and welcome back to Grindavik on the Impossible Dream. Today it is a transfer special as we move from extended Season 6, unexpectedly making the knockout rounds of the Champions League, into Season 7. We have £5 million to spend, we have 40 grand a week in wages we can spend, and we know 2 transfers that are coming in already. Now, one that we already knew about was Good Munson here. He was going to leave IA on a free transfer, so we gave them 100 grand for him to come in, and usual deal where they've got a 50% sell on as well. So we'll try and train him up as best we can and sell him on probably to Sweden, to be honest. That seems to be where most Icelandic players go. And yeah, we'll see what we get. Really good leadership qualities though. So he could actually end up being vice-captain this year, if I'm honest. He might even be captain, who knows. But yeah, so we'll see how he gets on. We don't need a player in this position, and I'm wondering if he's maybe more of a centre-back, take away maybe a few of those technical attributes. But anyway, that's all for later on. We'll figure out what to do with him. But he's coming in. The other player we know is coming in, and this is a new one to you, is Hanu Imonen. Yeah, a 17-year-old Finnish centre-back. Now, he has been with us on trial. He left Kappa or KAPA. I'm not quite sure how you say that. Correct. I mean, you know, it's letters. I can say the letters. But I don't know. Yeah, I'm sure it's short for something. But anyway, let's focus on the player himself. Really good jumping reach, a little slow, if we're honest, so we can hopefully work on that. But he's almost 2 meters tall, so he's a big boy. Again, good leadership qualities, decent teamwork. So someone else who may not at 17, but down the line could be sort of captain material or vice captain material. And he can pass the ball. He's not too bad. Well, for a 17-year-old, to be honest, he's quite brilliant. So yeah, we'll see how he goes. Capped at the under-19 levels for his country, and he will be coming in February 22nd when the window officially opens. But that's all we've done right now. I'm expecting, hoping anyway, we're going to have a lot of turnover this week. This episode, we're going to have a lot of players that are just not quite maybe good enough for Europe out, and we'll replace them with higher quality. So let's get this show on the road and see what we can do. Okay, we are at February 22nd, which means the transfer window is open in Finland. Now, I had forgot I had allowed Good Munson to go back to IA on loan, which is absolutely perfect. There they get the money, 50% sell-on clause, and the player for the season. I actually thought that they had him to the end of the season, but they've got him for this season, which is, as I said, absolutely fine, because we don't really need him anyway. So that's good news. And the other thing that has happened, of course, is Imonen. I keep wanting to call him Imodium, and that's obviously not a great thing to be wanting to call somebody. Yeah, he's here, so we'll see how he gets on. Left-footed as well, which is maybe makes him maybe a even longer-term replacement for Axe as well, because Axe is just starting to blunt, let's say, for a bad joke. So there we go. That is that, and well, we'll move on now and hopefully pick up some more players. Yeah, okay. Well, we are looking for a right winger. So yeah, no, that's not a right winger. Okay, but you're okay with the loan? That 11 million is optional, right? Oh yeah, no, I'm sure we'll pay it. But what about wages? 10 grand, what a week. Okay, we have made our first major move of the window. Now, we are spending 10 grand a week on this guy, and a little bit of a monthly fee as well. It's Jean-Marc Kibi on loan from Southampton for 11 months, so basically to the end of the calendar year, so it'll get us through most of the Champions League or European League phase if we were to get there again. The fans only rating was a B-. I'm assuming it's down to the 10 grand a week we're paying. It's a quarter of the extra wage budget that we're spending here, but we've got to take a risk, and I think he's going to be worth it. There is an optional fee there. We're not going to be spending 12 million on a player at this point. Let's have a look at him, and this is essentially our replacement for Viva. I think it was a little bit obvious last season that it wasn't quite working for Cisse, certainly in Europe. This guy is very much like Viva. Almost exactly the same, to be honest. So hopefully he's going to do a really good job for us. We'll try and train in knock ball past opponent, given that he's a good dribbler and quite pacey as well. And as I say, I'm hopeful he's going to do a good job. 21 years old, Senegalese. He hasn't played any international football. You can see there he did come from France. Now I forgot to check actually, but I'm assuming and more so hoping that he is going to actually be okay in terms of EU. Oh, he's not. Well, that's annoying. I probably should have checked that a little bit. He was only like 6 months away. So yeah, well, we're going to hope that that's going to be okay in terms of foreign player limits. I'm thinking we're probably going to get rid of some of our foreign players, so he should be fine. And in Europe anyway, it's not going to matter. If we don't use him in the league, then I'm sure we'll manage just fine. So anyway, there we go. JMK, I think we'll have to call him. He is our first piece of business. Okay, we have made, or we are saying goodbye to one of our heroes. Matthias Rocky has left 40 grand with the addition of Kibi. We just don't need him. He wasn't good enough for Europe, and we don't need him in the league. We have many players that can play in the league that aren't going to come in and take a registration spot. So, yeah, sad to see him go. He was a slow starter, but in the end was a very good player for us. So he moves on. And also moving on are our under-19s who have beaten Copenhagen in the, is it the second round for them? Yeah, second knockout round. Now, I'll be honest, we sent down a lot of first team. I mean, if we might as well win something in Europe. So, yeah, it was a very, very strong team for a youth team that we sent out. But who cares? We won. That's the main thing. So they go on, and we'll keep you updated how they go on through the whole episode. All right, so when I spent 10 grand a week on a player, I really didn't want him to break his ankle in his first game. But here we are. Okay, we have done another signing. We have got another loanee in Matthias Depe, I think you would pronounce it, at left back, an 18-year-old promising fullback from RB Leipzig. We scouted him when our kids played their kids, and, you know, he's willing to come and join us, which is excellent. Fans only rated as a C+. I see this as, I don't want to say definitely first choice, but I would say he's going to be favoured over Collar, and it probably means the end for Jen Yu, who just gets suspended too much. That's the only problem I have with him. But this guy, very good tackler, good positioning, not too bad physically, and he's got a decent cross on him as well. So, yeah, like I say, he'll come in and hopefully he'll do a good job for us. Hasn't played much for RB Leipzig's first team, so we'll see what happens. Now, do we have a sell on here, I think, or a potential option to buy? No, I don't think we do. So he is just here for 1 year, just 2,400 a week. The other loan that is coming in is not coming in until April 30th, so we'll be here by the time the season starts. It is Preben Ostadi. We'll go with that. It's going to be an 11-month loan. We do have an optional fee for this guy of £775,000. He's agreed to come as a regular starter. £700 a week if we don't pay him. Play him, sorry, 350 if we do. Let's have a look at him. And this guy is coming in. I don't want to say to be the first choice right back because I don't know that he's quite good enough to do that, but certainly at least compete with Matheson. And then if we can find somebody even better, then Matheson will move on. As it is, I think Niall Huggins will be moving on. But there's a little bit to like about him. And the one thing that obviously isn't great is unambitious, but he's not our player. So we can either try and get that trait out of him, or you know, he'll just go back to his club if we get what we want out of him, and yeah, we'll see how we go. But again, decent tackler, good marking, not too bad physically, and a good cross on him, so should be okay getting up and down that right hand side for us. So that's who's come in. Now, in terms of players going out, there's just been some players going out on loan. So Carrison has gone off to a second tier side. So I've kind of moved on from him at this point. He's not going to make it with us, so he's gone off. He's gone off there. One of the academy graduates that again is not going to make it with us has gone off to a first division side. You can see we've got these guys transfer listed. That they're available for free if a club wants to take him. They're all out of contract end of this year as well. And the other one is Magnuson. Now this has a potential fee of 17,000 at the end of it. I shouldn't have even really charged him a fee, to be honest, but he'll go out. Again, we've moved past him, but I think we've done well with this guy, because what we've done is his personality is, I think was he fickle or unambitious, or he was something. He's now a fairly ambitious player. He's got a good, you know, he was solid enough for us when he played. He's just technically not quite good enough for what we need. So he's gone off to FH on loan, as I say initially. They can potentially buy him, and that will be that. So, yeah, so far so good. Haven't really spent any money. But, well, we spent some wages. It's just all in the sick bay right now. So, in the quarterfinals, the kids have fallen short to Arsenal. 2-0 they've lost. A magnificent run for the kids, as I say, to get to that last 8. Hopefully, they'll get to go again next season if we can get back into that Champions League phase. But if not, well, I think we've done ourselves proud, both the seniors and the kids. Very, very happy. All right, we come back to 2 more departures. The first is Meng Jen-Yu. He's gone off to Norway, I think, Arendelle, to play with Princess Elsa and Anna. And Can you tell I have a daughter that watches Frozen non-stop? Yeah, so there we go. That's that done. He just, I liked him as a player. He just got booked too many times. He was always suspended, and there's no point at that point. So he goes off 54 grand. The other player that's left, and I'm sad about this, but ultimately we had moved past him, was Niall Huggins. Now he's gone to Fram. We will probably see him again. It was on a free. His contract was up at the end of the year. We weren't going to register him, so I figured, you know, especially if it's going to another Icelandic team, help the league, they can have him for nothing. So yeah, those two have left, and we're still looking to bring more players in. Obviously, it's just a case of trying to find the right players, because they're going to be expensive, but I don't want to sign somebody then find somebody better and then have to offload people. It just becomes a whole deal then. So yeah, we'll keep looking though. We're not done. We have breaking news out of Iceland this evening, as Grindavik have once again broken their Icelandic transfer record with the £850,000 signing of Portuguese winger Carlos Borges from French side Metz. Now for more, we cross live to local reporter Chaz Hogan. Me, it's cold out here. How did I get stuck with this bloody gig anyway? Where's the guy with the dodgy accent? He's supposed to be doing this. I'm going inside to the pub. So there we go, a little bit of a risk this one, 850 grand. We'll see how he goes. A 25-year-old winger, Carlos Borges, I think you'd pronounce it. If we go and have a look at his contract here, we will see he's on 10.5 grand a week as a regular starter. Hopefully he doesn't break his ankle in his first game like Kiwi did. Yeah, it's a 2-year deal, so that if it doesn't work out, we're not stuck with these wages. And if it does work out, then hopefully we'll be able to extend him. Otherwise, we've spent 850 grand on a 2-year player. But anyway, let's have a look at what we've got here. He is very, very quick, which is the main reason I've signed him. He's left-footed, though he can play either side. This is basically going to be the end for Cisse, I think, who was disappointing last year. I don't like to get rid of players after 1 year, but I am, I think, in the case of Cisse. You can see he's already worth more. I think he's going to do quite well. He's just absolutely rapid, can dribble and cross, first touch, long shots, passing. I think he's going to do well. His career to date, it's been a little bit of a journeyman. Started at Manchester City, some time on loan, was at Everton for a bit. So he's played in the Premier League, you know, he's played in the Championship and a lot of games in the Championship as well and done okay. So yeah, he should have no problem. I mean, we're not signing players for the league at this point. We're signing them for Europe, and hopefully he's going to be able to be a little bit of a threat down the swings there with his pace as well. So that is that. Now, we have been playing the Icelandic League Cup pre-season thing. So let's give you have a quick catch up on that, I should say. The group stage for us started with Fram. We went ahead late in the first half when Bakali played in Daesh. But Fram were level at half time and then took the lead early in the second half, before Bakali and Daesh combined again moments later. So yeah, I mean, it was a draw to start things off. This game took place about a week after the Dortmund game, so although it's a different season, technically, it's really not. Bakali, much better in this one. That was more the performance I wanted from him. Him and Daesh were the difference, really, of us winning or losing, or not losing the game, I should say. So not ideal, but still the rest of the group stage to go. And next up for us, it was Vestry. We took the lead thanks to Holdorsen, and went 2-0 up before half-time with Holdorsen second, before he was in the right place at the right time to complete his hat-trick. So we were very good in this game. Now, one thing I do want to use this for is to start and bring youngsters into the team. Now, Holdorsen may be a new name. He was the striker that came through our youth intake last year with the goalkeeper, and he's looking very good indeed. So yeah, really happy with how he's doing. Another new name you may have seen was the assist, or the ball into the box for the third goal, is Dagbor Jartston. Let's go with that. He's developing nicely. He's a winger. We're training him to knock the ball past his opponent as well, so there might be a player here for us. And the other one to bring your attention to just now is a young right back who came through. I'm not sure when this guy came through, to be honest, but we've been giving him a little bit of game time, and he's really started to train on just this off-season. So yeah, no idea how you say that name. Savatson, I'm not quite sure how that A and E go together. But anyway, the kids were doing well. And next up, it was IBV. We took the lead when Turpinson picked out Henriksen for his first goal. Markson found Daesh for our second. But IBV pulled one back. Before Gen U restored our 2-goal lead late on. Only for IBV to get a second deep into stoppage time. So good first half from us, but we really didn't show up in the second half at all. So we were lucky to get away with this one, perhaps. The goal scorer of the first one is maybe a new name, Henriksen. We'll have a look at him. We have seen him a little bit. He's, again, potentially quite good. He's left-footed, so I'm trying to turn him into a left-sided winger for us. He is unambitious. We're trying to mentor that out of him. But this guy's on the edge right now. Will he make it with us? Will it not? It's going to depend on his personality, I think, and how well he trains on, which he's doing okay with right now, to be fair to him. Next game up was against Valor. We were trailing at half-time. Kiwi set up Haldotson to get us level. Before Haldotson then put us ahead. So a little glimpse of what Kiwi could do in this one before, there you go, broke his ankle. 87th minute. We couldn't make it up, could you? So yeah, I mean, it was a good, solid performance from us. We, you know, second half particularly, you can see on the XG tracker, we sort of were just not really doing much, and then turned it on late. Another name here to catch you up on, I suppose, who's been playing a lot of games, is Hansi Mortensen, the central defender. Again, another one of these guys that is training on well, and is going to, I think, be a fairly big part of what we do going forward, because, you know, all these guys, of course, are going to be club trained. So for the league, these guys are going to be absolutely crucial for us. And then we get it, because what we want ideally is to have a team of academy players that play the league and are good enough to step in Europe if we need them to, and then we can just the other however many spots you get, 14 spots, we can pretty much sign a European team that are just going to be sort of that elite player for us. So yeah, hopefully this guy is going to do well along with the others. Next game to catch you up on was against FH. The only goal came late through Daesh. So we dominated this game. We really just couldn't score, which was very, very frustrating. But in the end, obviously, we did get the goal. This was our final group game. It meant that we got into the semi-finals. If we had drawn or lost this one, depending on what Fram did, it may have not worked out for us, but it did. We had a semi-final against Viking up, so let's see how that went. We fell behind late in the first half. But Markson found Gadini to have us level at the break. The ball fell for Hutchinson to put us in front. Before Cisse played in Gadini to make it 3-1. And Mortensen sent in Gadini for his hat-trick. So we absolutely dominated the second half in this one. You can see by some of the names that were on the field here, we were starting to take things a little bit more seriously at this point. We still brought some youngsters off the bench, but yeah, this was very much, it was Gadini's first game after his injury, and yeah, it was solid, which means, of course, we have a final to play. The final was against Foldner. An early chance for Dabja Bortson was as good as it got in the 90 minutes, with the tie going all the way to penalties, with Andreasen proving to be the hero. Andreasen, the hero. I just can't see him. I mean, we've got Rafferson, of course, who is brilliant. Only 16. There's going to come a point where we need to make that switch over. I'm not sure when it is, but on that performance, there's certainly no rush to do so, is there? He's captain on the day as well. It was a captain's performance. And we are, there we go, lifting the League Cup for the second time in our time in charge, third time in the club's history. So there we go, we lift the League Cup. We've won it again 2 times in a row now, and Bjorges made a, let's say, uninspiring debut. We've got a little bit of cash there. The medals, everybody there, if you see your name, congratulations, you've won a medal. And as I'm a true legend. Now, is it new stadium time in that case? Andreasen was the key, wasn't he? Absolutely brilliant stuff. Well done to you, sir. And yeah, well, let's move on and get back to some transfers. Okay, a bit of an update. We have 2 players that have joined now. We already knew this guy was coming in. It's our right back that we've got on loan from Boda Glint. So we'll see how he gets on. I'm thinking he's going to be okay. We do have an option to buy him, of course, as well. So, yeah, we'll make a decision on him later on in the season, but lots and lots of potential. And the other player that's come in is this guy. We have paid £450,000 for a Icelandic. It says he's a striker. He's going to come in and try and be a winger for us. Tobias Thomasson is the name. £550 a week. He signed as a breakthrough prospect. We'll use him a little bit more than that. But let's have a look at him. This is him here. We signed him from Norway, I think it was. Hacken, is Hacken Norwegian, or they might be Swedish? Anyway, what I like about him, good dribbling, off the ball movement. He's a little bit, reminds me a little bit of what's his face, Viva, except he has better teamwork as well. Good technique. He's only 18, so lots of room to develop there. And as you can see there as well, lots of room in terms of potential. It says he's a striker. He's not. He's going to be playing on the left wing for us as a left-footed player. And this is his career to date. You can see there was signed off of IA for not much, and was Sweden that he went to. And yeah, well, he will hopefully come in and be a good player for us down that left-hand side. Now, there is actually some loans we've got to update you on as well. And the easiest place to do this is just in transfer history. Lots and lots of players heading out on loan down to the affiliate team, but also heading out on loan is the Finnish centre back we signed. We sent him off to back to the Finnish league to play. He's going to be a regular starter there. 1 season doing that, and then I'm thinking he'll come back and be ready to play regularly for us. I just thought giving him a full season might be a better option. It'll give us a chance to give our guy Hansi Mortensen some games, because they're both left-footed defenders, and yeah, then he'll come back and be ready to go. So that's sort of the main one, and we've sent Good Nason off to IA as well, so we'll see him in the top league, in the Pepsi League, but he's not going to make it with us at this point. He's 22 and not really developing, so yeah. And something else that has happened is the Charity Shield thing at the start of the season. We were playing Vikinger, so let's go see how that played out. The only goal came midway through the second half when Cisse picked out Dyche's run. So a game that we absolutely dominated in terms of possession. We really did struggle to find the back of the net. Borges still struggling to fit in a little bit. We did in the end take him off and give Thomasson his debut for the team. But yeah, we played well, just struggling a little bit to find the back of the net. We are running into a problem with Dyche and Gadini as to who is going to be the number one moving forward. This is Dyche now. He is still developing. He is wanted by teams. Gadini is wanted by teams. They both want to be regular starters, so we might need to make a decision. I think Gadini will win out, but we might get a bigger transfer fee for Gadini than Dyche. So, and I think ultimately they're both going to end up losing out to Hal Dortson once he's ready to come in. But yeah, it's going to be decision time. Not necessarily this window though. All right, we are at the game day, our opening game of the season, which is against Fram and Niall Huggins, therefore. And we do have a few more departures to catch you up on. The first is Omari Hutchinson. He's going off the Hull for 135 grand. Ideally, I would have liked to have got a sell on, particularly, an English player. They tend to go for bigger fees back sort of within England. Unfortunately, I couldn't do that. He was brilliant for us last year. Is he good enough for Europe? No. Therefore, is he only really going to be in the league? Yes, in which case we'll play an Icelandic player. So I just feel like he doesn't quite fit in. Borges, I think, is the man to play down that left-hand side in Europe. He's just a bit quicker, a bit better of a wide player. So no comment on his performance with us. He was very, very good last year. But I don't think he's good enough for Europe, and we just don't need him in the league. So he goes off 135 grand. That won't happen until June, though, as you can see. So we'll have him for the first month or so of the season, so he's still around. The other player that is left is Junior Onana, 100 grand. He has gone off to Corfuck. Oh, we have to play them at some point. I'm assuming they're going to be what is the called, Israeli team. So 100 grand. Again, nothing wrong with how he did for us. Is he a good enough defender for Europe? I don't think so. Do we need him in the league? No, therefore we don't need him. So that's why he has gone off as well. So let's have a look at who we do have, though. And of course, a reminder, we are still, the window is still open for, I think it ends actually at the end of this game day. So not for too much longer, but the window does open again in July. So we can have a chance to sign players before Europe. So goalkeeper, we've got 3. Andreasen, who is just absolutely brilliant. Rafferson, now I don't know if I'm going to register him in the squad because I think he would still be second choice. He'll still be able to play in the cup games, which is where he'll get his experience. And yeah, there's a part of me that wonders if we loan him out, if we can get him a first team football, even if it's somewhere else in the Icelandic league for a season as the starter. Maybe that's better for his development, but we'll wait and see. And the other man that he is a club trained player, so doesn't need to be registered, is Hafildasson. He's developing well, so I'm okay with him being the backup. And yeah, we'll see how he gets on. So we've got 3 goalkeeper, absolutely fine. 3 Icelandic players as well. It's perfect. Over at left back, Depe is going to be the main man this season. I think he's developing well for us as well. Kolla is the backup. He is club trained. He's one of our boys, so that's brilliant. And we have Matheson if we need another option at left back. Over at right back, Matheson, he's going to be sort of battling it out week in, week out with this guy, Ostadi. Now, we do have an option to buy him, of course, so we'll wait and see how that plays out. And the third choice is one of our academy kids who is just training on very, very well this season, only 16, and yeah, I think he's absolutely fine to be third choice, and we'll see him in the cup, of course. As a reminder, we will be playing only our academy players in the cup. Centre-back, I've sort of lumped everybody into this left-hand side here just for ease of viewing. Axe is fading. I think with the sale of Onana, we need to probably keep him, and with Immonen going out on loan as well, I think we do need to keep him for this season. I don't think he's going to be first choice, though. His contract's up at the end of the year, and he is wanting to wait and assess his options. So I think we will be seeing him leave at the end of the season, but he's here for now. Bergson, I think, will be one of our first choice centre-backs, especially when we're talking about Europe. And then Seluk Vadzi is going to be the ball player, which is, I mean, his emergence is why I was happy to sell Onana. I think he is just a better player than Onana is. Mortensen is another one of our academy players. He'll get some game time this year. He doesn't need to be registered, so he's sort of an auto-register, coming as one of our club players. And Depe can play as a centre-back if we need him, hopefully, and ideally we won't. Deep-lying playmaker, Antonio is going to be the man as of yet. We haven't had any bids come in to match the 700 grand we'll have to sell him for that we promised. Then we've got all our Icelandic kids. Gudmundsson, who is an academy player, so he doesn't need to be registered in a squad. Ingvason, who is developing very nicely, so he's there. This guy is the guy that's out on loan at IA for the year. We haven't actually seen him yet, but he'll be coming back. Djokovic, I don't think he's going to make it with us, but we'll wait and see. And Turpinson obviously can play here, but ideally we'll play a little bit further forward. And that would be in this position. So Capiello, I think, is going to move over this side of midfield for this season. Turpinson, who we've just seen. Halkson, who ideally I'd like, you see I've got him valued at 0. Ideally, I'd like to move him on somewhere else in the league so another team has him. He's good. Certainly at league standard, he's not good enough for us just now, though. And then we've got a lot of familiar names here as well. And this guy here who's just starting to come through for us. Unambitious, which isn't ideal, but he is training on quite nicely, so we'll give him game time where we can. If we move over to the more attacking advanced playmaker role, Bakali has done very well in spring training, in pre-season. I'm hoping anyway, we're going to see the best of him this season. Capiello, of course, can play as the advanced playmaker. Olmarkson, this is where he will likely play, particularly cup games. We usually do have Olmarkson and Turpinson as the 2 in midfield, that are, of course, our academy players. Hutchinson for the first month could play here at a stretch, and then I don't think there's anybody else there. No, we've seen everybody else there. Over to the left-hand side of midfield, and Borges is going to be the man here. He's quick, he can dribble. Hopefully, he's going to settle in quickly. Tomlinson, another one of the new boys. You can see already he is starting to train on, and hopefully is going to be good. And then if we go down, do we have anybody else here? This is the guy that'll play the cup games. Hinrichsen, he played a lot of the League Cup, and I mean, he's left-footed, he's unambitious. Again, we need to kind of get that personality improving, but generally speaking, though, there's a bit of a player there, I think, potentially. Over to the right-hand side, Kiwi. Almost back from his broken ankle, 10 grand a week, and we've barely seen him. He's going to come in and be the first choice over there. Cisse, you can see he's unhappy. I tried to move him on. I couldn't find anybody that really wanted to take him. So I think I'm happy to keep him for the time being, especially because we have moved on quite a few other players. So somebody who's settled in might be a good player to keep. Dag Jagbatson, he's around. He's a club-trained player and will play in the cup games. And the other guy is this guy. He's his personality is a problem. He's a bad trainer, and so I'm not sure he's ever going to reach any sort of potential, but we'll see what we get out of him. And I think that is it. We've seen everybody else there. The strikers, we are so well served up front. We have Gadini. Now, he is being increasingly wanted by bigger teams. Bordeaux, Udinese, and Spal, who I think are Serie A as well. So long gone are the days of Serie B sides interested. He's catching the eyes of some big teams now. Redmond Dyche even is still around. He's a very good player as well. Holdartson, now he is not registered because it's his first year. He hasn't quite qualified to be registered for the league yet. I'll wait and see what we do with him, but as of right now, I don't know that I am going to register him, because as far as the third choice guy goes, this guy is now an auto-registered player, so he's sort of around for the foreseeable future there as well. And then that is pretty much it for strikers. So there we go. That is that. If you've enjoyed it, make sure you hit thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new. I'm looking for finances. There it is there. We still have about 3.5 million we can spend in terms of a budget, and we have still... we're 76 grand a week, which is huge. Imagine how much. That's probably more than the rest of the league combined. So we still have about 20 grand a week we can spend there as well, and 17 million in the bank. So we're absolutely fine financially. There's money there if we need it. Yeah, I think maybe I wouldn't mind getting another centre back in to replace Onana. The issue is going to be registering players. That's where the juggling act that kind of takes place. But so that's it for today. I'll see you next time as we get the season underway. It's Fram and Grotta, so we'll get to have a nice kick clash there as well. You can see pre-season's gone absolutely fine. And yeah, well, I'll see you next time as we get hopefully our 5th championship season underway. Take care.